All right, Pokeball, go! Wait, a Piranha Plant? I was trying to use Charmander, but dude, Piranha Plant as a Pokemon, could you imagine? Honestly, I've always kind of wanted a Piranha Plant. Let's do this!
I've got a Piranha Plant, yes I do. He'll be eating everyone, that means you. But you can play Smash Ultimate and get 1-2. Then you'll have a Piranha Plant like I do. I've got a Piranha Plant, yes I do. He'll be eating everyone, that means you. But you can play Smash Ultimate and get 1-2. Then you'll have a Piranha Plant like I do.
Hello again, YouTube! Yes, we are creating the Piranha Plant, of course, in honor of the Smash Bros. Ultimate announcement recently, but we are also creating, if you could see in the title and in the description, of course, Lancer. So we'll actually go with Lancer first. Now, Lancer coming from what you could call Undertale 2, I guess, but Deltarune, of course, the name of the game, Deltarune. We had a boy as the source object. Doesn't matter which boy shows up because they've got several of them here in Scribblenauts Unlimited. That's this game, but we're gonna go with a snowball to cover the torso like that, and that'll be, of course, for Lancer's torso. We had a cucumber on there that was all white, and then a troglodyte's back arm right now, and that's for his hands. I'm hype, you guys. I mean, I like both of these characters. Lancer was fresh in Deltarune. I did play that glowworm coming up right now, the back tail piece. We played Deltarune as a live stream on this channel. Just kind of a short stream though, so definitely you can see that as a video on demand on this channel. But what we normally do, of course, is Scribblenauts Unlimited creations and other games that have creation features. Now, of course, Lancer has the spade symbol on his, well, I guess chest and midsection, just all there on his torso. So for that, we used a heart, and that's the shape, heart, and there's a piece of chalk, but that's the writing chalk. Cryptozoologist leg coming up right here, the front leg. That'll be for Lancer's legs. So notice, of course, there isn't just a spade. I mean, it comes up with a shovel. Some people call, of course, the shovel that's shaped like that the spade. You know, a spade shovel. But holy monkeys, we're already into the properties editor right here where you can edit health and other things about your character. When we get to this part of the video, I like to read background information and fun facts about whoever we're creating in this series. So let's do this. Lancer is a nefarious kid who initially aims to destroy the main party in Deltarune before they can reach the Dark Fountain. Again, I say initially because, well, spoilers if you haven't seen or played it yet, skip ahead a good 10 or 20 seconds if you want, but it's initially because he finally is convinced to join the team later on down the line. He wears a hood, and while his eyes are just rarely visible, they're usually shielded and make the shape of a spade on his face. He's even got a bluish spade shape on the front of his tunic, as we mentioned before. I'm gonna create him in Scribblenauts with his tongue hanging out of his mouth, since we see that a lot with Lancer, once we move on to creating his head separately. So here for scripting, we have scripting for Lancer that can somewhat match the game, but won't be perfect, obviously, because, I mean, we are forced to work within the confines of this game, Scribblenauts Unlimited. But essentially, what you're gonna see right here is we were in the behavior section on that tab, and you just want to do like use, and then when you type in bicycle, it'll have a lot of general categories for what a bicycle can fall under. That's how Scribblenauts kind of does this in the scripting part. And so I just went with sports. You could do extreme sports, or maybe I did that. And so then on the scripting tool right here, you see that it's basically whenever he loses or gains health, he is going to gain the adjective brave so that he doesn't run away from fights. You could even do the script instead of loses or gains health, you could just do when he is created, if you want him to have it right off the bat. But notice, of course, also after that, he's going to wait a few frames. You know, you can set it to whatever kind of frame amount you want, with 180 being the max. And then I did shoot a projectile, and it's going to be a white heart. Now, I wish that could be upside down. I mean, you could even type in upside down, but it actually does not make it upside down. That's the weird thing. I essentially want it to look like some spades, but we're going to have to do the best we can. He is actually shooting out playing cards because he can't shoot out the actual shape of a spade. Again, this game is limited. Now, of course, his bicycle is on fire. I mean, like, he couldn't have a motorcycle, right? So he wanted to make the bike be on fire. So one thing I'm going to do for the scripting, we did extreme sports as the category, but it's essentially when this object sees an object, and the extreme sports was in there for, you know, we wanted that to be the only thing. So you want to filter that script, sees an object, only for extreme sports. Now that does mean that like if you put a skateboard down or something like that, it'll also be flaming because that's the adjective that it will add to the trigger target. So that's what you want. Add an adjective to the trigger target, flaming. That means it's going to be on fire. So Lancer essentially sets things on fire. I mean, it's like when he sets his bike on fire in the game. I think that's a close way we could get it here in the properties editor. So our character's good right now for the body, but we do need to create the head separately. Now, this game does have a stamp limit. If you've ever seen my series, you know this. So that just basically means this hairy fish, we're going to take that fin right there. That's a stamp. Each one of these things that we're using for our object is a stamp, and you have a limit. We'll go with an oval next, paint that white right here, kind of the bottom of his head. And so I'm just making some adjustments right now. And we're going to go with tear, T-E-A-R, and so that can look like the start of his eyes at least. So then we'll go with the skeleton warrior. And there's one of the legs of the skeleton warrior right here that is kind of more skeletal. It doesn't have any of the clothing on it, so we want that one. It's the front leg. That can be put down for his nose right there. And so then we'll go with an eagle, and we'll take the side wing. I almost called it a fin. The side wing of the eagle right there. And I'm going to go with a tooth fairy. We'll take the female tooth fairy's back arm piece. You have to really point to, if you're on like the Wii U or the Switch in touch mode on Mega Pack, you really want to hone in on that exact arm, not to either side of it. So all of this together is going to make a good mouth. It can all just be painted black, the darkest black as possible. Potentially gross stamp. I don't even know if we've used this before, but earwax. We did earwax as one of the teeth down here. The glowworm tail is also going to be that tooth right next to it, and then two other earwaxes as we continue to go on to the right. Felt, of course. Felt is like, the material felt, and that can be the start of the tongue at least. With jellyfish, we're going to take this upper tentacle part that's near the body of the jellyfish, just kind of looks like a black line, put that twice. So one is going to be on the tongue down there, like a line in the middle of that, and then one right underneath the nose, which was that skeleton warrior foot or leg. And so we'll call this Lancer head. Go into the properties editor, and of course the scripting needs to be this way. Equipment tab, when you go down to that, can be worn on the face like glasses, is the circle that we fill in right there, or worn on the head like a hat, whichever you prefer. Glasses will put it a little bit lower, hat will put it a little bit higher. And so notice it's actually very, very close. I kind of this looks hilarious and awesome. I mean, he looks so tiny. I guess we do kind of want him to be small. I mean, that I guess makes sense. I just didn't even imagine it being that tiny, so I might increase the body size just at least one notch maybe. But here you can see we're editing the body object again and just kind of moving the grid for his head. We're gonna move it down just a very, very small bit. It doesn't need to be that much. So let's see what that looks like actually after now making those adjustments, and put Lancer here onto the field, onto the level. Looks pretty good. So of course, just to test the scripting, let's go with a bicycle, put that down, and it's a good thing he's gonna use it. And there it goes, it's set on fire. And so that will of course destroy the bike, and any extreme sport things that you put out onto the level will get on fire, and eventually they'll be destroyed unless of course they're immune to fire or something. Oh, now he's actually attacking the bike, and holy monkeys, the playing cards have now hit Goomy. Goomy was on the map right here. This is a past creation, of course, the Pokemon Goomy. Gonna get owned, I think, by Lancer, man. That was a lot of damage. There we go, and so Lancer takes it against Goomy and set my Pokeball on fire. What kind of, man, this Pokeball was created a while ago. This is actually a remake of the Pokeball from, God, what was that, episode 56? So yeah, that was 56 when we made the original Pokeball. I've, of course, made some edits to it, gave it a lot more detail. God, Lancer, lay off. Actually, don't. That was a good look at the heart. You saw that the heart was on fire, I guess because Lancer himself is on fire. So, that's gonna happen. There, I'll throw the Pokeball at you. Come on, Lancer. I don't know what he was attacking there. I think it's, well, okay, I actually do see what's going on. So, because he's on fire, the script is whenever he loses or gains health, and now he's dead, but whenever he loses or gains health, he will actually shoot out that heart, the white heart. It looks kind of gray, but it's white. And so, as we shift gears now, ladies and gentlemen, we can use a source object of a man-eating plant for the Piranha Plant. So we do get to create the Piranha Plant. I am definitely hype about Piranha being in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, of course, and that was obviously the other most popular, most requested thing. That's how we choose our characters for each week. If you do like this kind of content, this is just a reminder to definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell, of course. We're in the home stretch of this episode, though, because this creation does not need a separate head and body or anything like that, so all we're doing is just creating this one solid character right here as the Piranha Plant. So with that man-eating plant, we took off the neck, you could almost call it, like the body stem part, and that also removed, of course, the top jaw head and the bottom jaw. And so we'll go with the Texan Sodal right now after we've just put down a tube top, fez and a glowworm piece, those were all attached to the little pot. You know, it's in a flower pot, like plant pot, I guess, when it starts out. So even the man-eating plant is, and you want to make that a little bit bigger because the pot is very tiny with those leaves and everything, but we want those to be kind of big because we're using those existing leaves as the inner green layer. It's like lighter green. So again, this is going off of the Smash Brothers model, so it's somewhat detailed, you know, for Piranha Plant. We've seen Piranha Plant over many, many years somewhat change appearance. I mean, not in a huge way, but just to meet the graphical prowess and times of the consoles that it's been on. Toothpick going down next after we just had the stem and the Texan Sodal there to be the finishing touches, I guess, on the leaves of both sides for what you could call Piranha Plant's arms, I guess. Now, to make the head after we had that Shambler back arm piece be the neck, and you do want to make the man-eating plant's neck a lot longer. In essence, that's like the neck body for Piranha Plant. And so the hemisphere shapes can be those red parts for the start of the head. You know, the head is going to be divided just like the man-eating plant in Scribblenauts, where it has a top jaw piece and a bottom jaw piece. We'll go with amber right now, painted all the way white. You want to get it as white as possible to cover up any of the details and things within that amber, and the cucumber as well. The cucumber starts off kind of like the lips, and so Toothpick will be like there's some white, you know, circle on the far end of it, but it's like, because we're looking at this almost completely horizontally, that's the reason that toothpick is there instead of a full-on amber. Now, that's a short spike row. The short spike row can be a great stamp to use for 3 teeth when we layer it behind the cucumber.
And ladies and gentlemen, all hail the almighty Utabar!
That is the stamp we use for another little circle down there. It's all about perspective, you know. Some of them we can see as like full-on ovals. I shouldn't describe it as a circle. It's more of an oval shape for the patterns on the Piranha Plant's head. So the ovals, though, we're actually using an oval right now after the mango was for the tongue. But, you know, like placing that Utapam down there and the toothpick, you know, those all can put it into the perspective of, you know, if we just did another amber, well, it wouldn't really show depth or, again, I think perspective is the best word for it because it's like he is looking mostly to our right. And so with that, that's exactly how the oval would kind of look. So of course, we're going to name this Piranha Plant, and ladies and gentlemen, that's going to take us to the properties editor where we will read some background information and fun facts about this character, of course. Piranha Plants are a long-time running set of characters from the Mario series, usually, of course, being enemies who come from pipes. We should note, however, not all the time, like Petey Piranha from a game that I love, Mario Strikers Charged, and of course, Petey Piranha as the first boss of the Subspace Emissary back in Smash Brothers. There's other games, of course, too, but those were just examples where the plant was not stuck in the pipe. But for obvious reasons, as y'all say, you've asked for Piranha Plant to be created in Scribblenauts today because he was very recently announced as the first DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Although you can get Piranha Plant early if you pre-order for a limited time, I still need to do that. This will obviously be the first time Piranha is playable in any Smash Bros. Game, and I'm really hype about it, actually. I started out kind of having this opinion that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was probably going to shortchange us on new characters, items, stages, and other content, just because of the massive scale needed in including every single last thing from the previous games. Oh my god. I always would rather see new stuff if it was a choice between new and old, you know, if you could only have one or the other for Smash. But now that all characters have been announced, I can clearly and honestly say, per usual, my hat is off to Sakurai-san, as he and the team have really outdone themselves once again. This game looks amazing, and they've definitely added enough new characters and content to fit in with the old. I mean, like, they really did. It all just looks amazing. This is going to be a big game. There will be some live streams or videos of it on this channel on or close to launch, so stay tuned for those. And look at this craziness on screen. We've got a Piranha Plant. Actually, what I'm noticing is the Piranha Plant. One thing you might want to do is make sure that body of the man-eating plant when you start out was bigger, even bigger than what I just did right there, because my Piranha Plant is kind of sinking into the ground, and as a ranged character, couldn't even get his attacks off. They were hitting the ground. You know, he was too low. But here, we're going to see what he actually does as at melee range. So at very close range right here, we've got him shooting out a paramecium as his weapon, just to kind of look like that's for the range projectile. Kind of looks like the purpley poisonous. Oh my god. As a melee character at close range, he ate his head. What he's a man-eating plant. He's gonna eat heads. Holy monkeys. I was gonna say, though, at close range like that, when he does just a melee attack, he's got more power, it looks like. But look at this, you guys. This is not even all the characters that I've created that are gonna appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for sure in this series. But look at all these. These are all past creations. I'll try to put a link in the description to each one of them so you can see how to create them if you ever want to have a crazy battle like I'm about to have right here. We've got these walls. There will be no walls when we take them all away, of course, and have this huge, I mean, this is like a big-time Smash Brothers match right here. We've got Bowser, we've got Luigi, Donkey Kong, King K. Rool, Dark Samus, Waluigi, who's already down, but of course Waluigi's not going to be in Smash. We just wanted to, I mean, he'll be an assist trophy, but I just wanted to give all of the hopefuls out there maybe a little bit of something to rejoice about. But we had Mario, we got the Piranha Plant, man, a whole bunch of people are already down, ladies and gentlemen. Dark Samus completely rocking socks right here. I think Dark Samus did a lot of damage here in Scribblenauts. Of course, things are going to be a little bit different in Scribblenauts just because this is not their, you know, this is not even their respective universes, but this is also not the Smash Brothers universe, so this is all going to be, God, Piranha Plant in between a rock and a hard place, or really just a Bowser in a dark place. Dark Samus. But look, Bowser and Dark Samus now going at it right here. Both two ranged characters shooting out a fireball, and we have an ice ball as the projectile. That doesn't mean, of course, it's not intended to be actually an ice ball, but in Scribblenauts, kind of a good stamp. You could also use a circle, but sort of a good stamp just for like some laser-looking effect. But here, so we'll see who's gonna win this battle. I mean, Bowser definitely with a bit more health, just because I think Dark Samus did get hit a few times, whereas Bowser sort of just now entering the fray, and I don't know what's going on with Donkey Kong and Luigi. Actually, now I can see they're trying to hit me. For God's sake, we need to put them into the fray after this. Let's just see who's gonna... I just put Bowser away, and Donkey Kong didn't do anything, but let's see. Bowser probably gonna take out Dark Samus here. It's really just like one or two more hits. I mean, they're really canceling each other out. Bowser, though, does have less speed. Is Bowser gonna lose, actually, in this? It would be quite the upset. Oh, God, now Donkey Kong getting in the way. Donkey Kong gonna actually deal the final blow to Dark Samus, whose head falls off. How brutal, but Donkey Kong coming after Bowser, being like, come on, dude. Bowser really, I mean, if this was more like Smash Brothers, it would probably be less of a range thing. We might make him fire breathing, but not actually shooting out a fireball like that. But we're gonna see what happens. Donkey Kong just coming in with a giant punch, I guess. You know, that's the neutral special. that was seriously the power of a giant punch, man. Took Bowser out. These guys are still coming after me. Oh my God. Come on, Luigi. Ow. Okay, let me fly out of the way, maybe? No, okay, so we're gonna need to do something. We're gonna have to get these guys fighting each other. Come on, you idiots. Okay, finally, they're going after each other. Wait, I was on Donkey Kong's back. So let's see what's gonna happen. Donkey Kong just absolutely wiping the floor with everybody in this battle. Luigi's head on the ground. Not happy about that, but it looks like Donkey Kong actually gonna be our winner there. But let's show off our creations from today. Enough of living in the past here. Again, I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribed at the time of this recording. We're actually very close to 200,000 subscribers. Getting so close. I need your help. And hit that bell, of course. Suggest what you want to see in the next episode. Most popular, most requested will get created, and I will catch you guys on the next vid. And thanks for viewing.
Like I do, I got a Piranha Plant, yes I do. He'll be eating everyone, that means you. But you can play Smash Ultimate and get one too. Then you'll have a Piranha Plant like I do.
Come get a Piranha Plant like I do. Huh?